Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yes! Welcome to Drinkin' Bros Fake News. We're on a temporary cease and desist from Hans Zimmer. So we can't do the theme song right now. I'm not sure what the problem was. I think it was my pitch perfect voice, Dan. But I can't put my finger on it. We got a cease and desist letter from Hans Zimmer saying you cannot do the theme song.
Yeah, it was really weird, too, because he sent it in the form of a Hallmark card, and the words were all glitter.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a German thing. I would have expected from a German to just have it been covered in shit, because they're really into poop over there.
Are they?
Yeah.
Scat porn, I believe that's called.
Yeah, it's called Scheiße porn, which Scheiße just means shit in German. But,
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people say Odell Beckham Jr. is German. I don't know.
We'll have to dig into that 23andMe. We'll find out.
The set looks a little dark today. What does that mean? That's fucking racist.
No,
Bill
that is
Schofield, you're
super racist.
You're about to get banned.
Hey, Bill, it's racist, okay?
We don't do that here.
Say the set looks a little bit off-white, okay? It's still okay to say that white people are bad and all that stuff. So say it's a little bit off-white. Don't say that it's dark. Don't do that, Bill. We're not that type of show, Bill.
I think he's just trolling Giorgio, to be honest, because now Giorgio's running around looking at all the cameras.
Don't do that.
For no reason.
Don't do that to Papa G. We don't need that. In the house today, gonna be real, kids. We just finished one of our most important episodes ever, I think. Important because the Podfather himself was on the show. Adam Carolla, that's going to air on Sunday nights. Typically, we pre-tape some of the Sunday night shows.
Yeah.
So that way our employees don't have to stay here over the weekend. That was awesome, man.
Yeah, I don't care about the employees. I don't want to be here over the weekend.
Obviously. But Adam Carolla was awesome.
As a matter of fact, I sit at home on the weekend and fucking send them nasty emails like, fuck you, you didn't do shit this week.
Sure.
So
it's important.
Yeah, you've gotten really good with
important.
Photoshop too. He keeps sending me pictures of him and my wife, and I'm like, dude, wow, how'd you get that?
Yeah,
It's so real.
It's actually in my living room.
Yeah.
And I'm sleeping in the background. How did that happen?
How are you having sex with my pregnant wife?
It's crazy. It's crazy, dude. Good for you.
Thanks. I'm getting pretty good. Corey Roper says racism has been canceled. You know what hasn't?
Oh, has it?
Yeah, which is good.
That's good.
What hasn't been canceled is SEAL Team. So we ran that campaign along with a lot of other people, including the Boot Campaign and Mountain Primal Meat Company, to make sure that SEAL Team, which is probably the best representation in television of the military that's ever happened, and the cast and crew is very supportive of military and first responders. It's been renewed, kind of. So they're moving to the Paramount Network now. So they can do. So what the debate was, and I don't know this.
I know the answer to this. Actually.
I don't know this firsthand, but the debate was: we want more time to tell our story, and we want to be able to use more profanity and show some titties here and there. Basically.
Sure.
So now you're going to be able to, and also they get the benefit of Costner's production company, which is in Park City, right?
Yep.
But they have another office up in Montana, somewhere nearby where the fucking thing is. So it's for the type of terrain they operate in and stuff, and the tax, the tax shit with
you get
California.
a nice tax relief in Utah, by the way, if you shoot in Utah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on there, and plus, I mean,
is that breaking news? Did AJ hit you up or somebody?
Well, they posted it on their thing, but yeah, I talked to AJ last night.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's dope. It's a fucking great show. They fucking give a lot of money, and both individually and as a show to military charities. So that's really good news. Plus, so now they basically have two of the best shows on television on the same network on Paramount. It almost reminds you of back in the day when FX had all those series, going concurrently. So.
I actually have the answer to this, and it's this is the one time that I won't slam Hollywood for it. They're running out of money for the big four: ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox. So they're switching most of the programming either to animation, game shows, or live sports, because that is the only thing that is keeping traditional cable, air quotes, still alive. Anything with a budget, especially a 1-hour drama, is getting switched over to apps. I would say within 3 to 4 years, everything TV show-wise will be on apps, and that's all that mainstream TV will be. during COVID, when all of
with
this
me.
happened, same. During COVID, when all this happened, all these productions were shut down, including SEAL Team. Well, what happened was the only thing they could afford was game shows. So game shows were, very small cast, 5 or 6 people, and then, skeleton crew, and then you could shoot a bunch of them, leave it in post, whatever. The ratings ended up better than most of their scripted programming, and they're like, hey, wait a minute, maybe we should do this and not do that. Because you take a TV show like SEAL Team, which is a fantastic show, it would be better on Paramount. Like, you are absolutely right by saying that. And I think it'll flourish and do probably better numbers on Paramount than it will on CBS, because there is so much more that you want to see to it, right? You do want to see cursing and titties and swearing and shit.
But they
like
also
that.
get 18 more minutes.
Yes.
That's uninterrupted, because Paramount's not running live ads like that. It's a subscription-based service.
Yep.
Now, they will have ads interjected, but since it's streaming, they don't have to obey any kind of set schedule, so they can still run their full hour programming. And not having to deal with a network either. Like, at that point, you're dealing with fucking Kevin Costner and his group of both production and marketing people who are, I wouldn't say they're conservative, but they don't fucking play by this old school woke bullshit. And to be honest, having SEAL Team on a network like CBS that's played the woke game a lot probably wasn't the best thing for the show.
Well, look.
I mean, they wanted to keep the show going regardless, but I think this is a really good move for them.
So do I, and I think they'll get higher ratings because that content lends itself toward a more R audience versus a PG-13 audience.
You want to see more violence, and you want to see more fucking banging.
Yeah,
for sure, and more profanity. I mean, having to run around on a DevGru team and say "dang it" isn't exactly true to form. You know what I mean? And I like it. I'm glad they're moving over. I'll be watching.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm stoked to hear that, because the storylines will get better. Like you said, there is no time limit. So, like, if you're on a network, let's see, a 1 hour, I think is 41.30, including commercials.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, sweet, man. I know there's going to be a commercial every 8 minutes, and then I'm going to get fucked at the end, and then I got to come back and watch the 30-second teaser. You don't have to deal with that shit on Paramount TV, and then you get to see a little titty here and there, which is nice. And then dialogue and script and all that other stuff, it won't go through as many people because they're like, great, we trust you. Just tell a great story. So I'm amped for that. That's great. Congratulations to those guys. I wish a lot more shows would move to that model.
I mean, look, if they go over there and have big success in season 1, I can guarantee you a lot more of the fucking successful but maybe edgier shows are going to start moving over there, even away from maybe FX, because FX is still owned by Fox, which is still owned by Disney.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's still a fucking corporate structure that you got to deal with there. The only reason It's Always Sunny gets away with it is because it's been there forever. But if you look at networks, FX is one of the last remaining. I was looking at the ratings for the prime shows on Comedy Central, other than South Park. They're getting like somewhere between 125 and 400,000 viewers per episode.
Dude,
on their primetime show.
Daily Show's getting 50,000, dude.
Yeah, nobody. I mean, we get fucking 500,000.
Oh yeah.
So it's weird. It's weird. TV networks are going away, for sure.
I think our monthly is higher than most monthly cable networks because they run on the same type of rating
Well, they run
system.
24-hour.
Yes.
If you compare it hour for hour, then we're definitely higher.
Yeah, and if we were able to fill up 24 hours of content, Jesus Christ, we would smoke them. I remember reading a statistic 2 years ago that Joe Rogan, this was in, I think, 2018 or 19, had more hours and downloads than all of CNN, 24 hours combined through an entire month. I mean, it was fucking gnarly.
That's probably true. I mean, there was a time before the podcast world was more diluted with content, where Rogan was the guy, and he was probably doing somewhere between 25 and 30 million views a month just on his main channel, not including the clips.
Yeah.
So he was, well, maybe more than that. So he was doing 4 to 5 episodes depending on the week. Each episode was getting about 3 to 5 million. So that's 12 to 4. That's more like 60 million.
Yes. Well, and then audio-wise, I know he was at right around 90 million downloads because we had an invoice leak back in the day. We had the same sponsor as Rogan and Marin. And one of their invoices was actually sent over to us. And they were like, oh, that's for Joe Rogan. I was like, whoa. I called the dude, and I was like, I'm not going to say who it was, but I go, is that how much Joe's making? And he goes, yeah, it's crazy, right? And I go, yes, it is. And we need to do more of these. But that's the beauty of podcasting, man. Shit, Joe's getting. I think he's getting 120 a year. Good for Joe. So is Stern, and he's doing out his fucking basement in the Hamptons right now.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody watches that anymore.
Sirius XM. Yeah, not sure. I don't even know if he has guests anymore because he's germaphobe. He has not left the Hamptons for real.
Yeah.
Welcome to Fake News, though, kids. Top stories here. Modern American universities are right-wing institutions, at least according to the communists at Teen Vogue. Is that still a magazine?
Yeah, this is a weird one. It's.
They're hard-hitting journalists over at Teen Vogue.
Yeah, this article claims statistics showing that the majority of college professors are on the left of the political spectrum, but do not accurately represent the truth of how universities work. Or I'm sorry, they say the claim that most university professors are leftists isn't reality. Including in their argument is a claim that American universities are under control of corporate capitalist regimes that have taken power away from the student body. Why would the student body have any power? You're not there to form a fucking government. You're there to learn, you stupid cunts. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, in support of their stance, the author points out that most colleges are run by a board of executive bankers and lawyers, so obviously the ideals of the college must be conservative, which is absolute nonsense. Although they are right about the corporate nature of universities, and this is why this is the big problem they have here. The average relative to inflation salary for a professor in college has gone up about 30% over the last 25 years. It's gone up 2,000% for an administrator. So some fuckface, the dean, or they keep creating these additional fucking C-suite level jobs that don't do anything except for make you pay more for the college and make you in debt more later. And you don't get anything in exchange for it. And the idea that leftists won't fucking package a bunch of bullshit and upcharge for it. What are you fucking kidding me? They've been doing that in government for years.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I mean, look, having gone to a pretty big university, I can tell you most of them are liberal, including most of the fucking professors. Like, Jesus Christ. That's the worst hidden secret of all time, I think, about most of these schools. And then, look, as a college kid, most college kids are liberals. Hence why they do all these fucking fundraisers and concerts and everything, rock the vote there. Because at that age, you're like, oh, shit, I'm 18. Yeah, there's hope in the world. And
there is no hope, just in case you were wondering out there.
Correct.
No hope.
But you don't realize that until typically you're in your 30s.
Yeah.
And that's when you become conservative. But before that, you're like, oh, yeah, I can change the world and everything's going to be awesome. And then afterwards, you're like, you know what? No one's going to change the world, and I just want to lower taxes.
Yeah, the problem is we started taking people seriously who we should never take seriously, and that's children. We started letting children decide their gender or what their fucking name should be. We started giving them a say in, in how they get educated. Why would they have a say? What the fuck do they know about education or the world that they should have a say in any of this shit? Shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. But this is all, what do you want to say, Giorgio?
Oh, it's okay. I was just going to say two takes on that. Doesn't every college student think they're a grown adult? And you don't realize you're not a grown adult until 4 to 5 years after college, and you realize how much you didn't fucking know.
Which is why a grown adult needs to tell them to shut the fuck up.
Right, but it's easy to assume that they are going to think that they know what the fuck they're talking about when they don't.
And they certainly don't.
And isn't what that original statement just showcase is that true wealth and the banks and these major corporations don't care about your political opinion at all. They're making money either way.
Well, I mean, they don't care. It's not about banks not caring about your political opinion. It's about people who fucking, you can see a causal relationship between people who will fucking package these partisan lies together, which is that the left has it all figured out or that the right has it all figured out, and they'll sell it. They're corporatist. It has nothing to do with politics at that point.
Right, but that shows the fallacies, logical fallacies in that original argument was that, wealth at that level and organizations at that level, they're going to make money either way.
Right.
So, assuming that they're preaching conservative ideology is naive in that person because they're preaching whatever gives them money. Money.
The only thing that I'll correct you on in that statement is they do want to make a ton of money, but they will tell you how to think and the way that they want you to do it. So,
or is that just the flavor of college right now? Like, I don't know. I'm asking that as a question. Is that not just what's hip
college
there?
Universities in America have been hotbeds. I mean, look. It seems like a conspiracy theory because the type of people who talk about it all the time are fucking kind of knucklehead, to be honest. But one of the biggest weapons in the tool belt of Russia during the Cold War was to infiltrate American universities and start propagating Marxist ideology. That's not a fucking hidden secret. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's just a fact. It's an information operation and it happened. I think this particular time, there's at least some chance that some of this is based on this fucking dumb Nikole Hannah-Jones, who lost her UNC tenure offer because of her unfactual and biased work. She's the founder of the 1619 Project, which is basically to reassess all of American history as white supremacist, basically.
Right.
And she's now been told to get fucked because all of her research is complete bullshit. So I'm sure this is a backlash to that. And that's the problem with binary politics. That's one of the many, many problems with binary politics is that you take a side and you feel the need to defend your side because otherwise it makes all of your other points seem wrong, which that doesn't make any sense. There's no reason to package 7 to 12 ideas that you believe in, whether it's gun rights or abortion or whatever the fuck, and you put them all into one thing. These are the things I believe. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Each individual issue deserves your attention.
Yeah, but most of these major schools like this, I mean,
I don't care about the fucking schools. I'm talking about human beings.
I know, I get it, man. But the schools are businesses now, Dan, and it's just fucking
The schools
money.
were always businesses. Let's be real. Harvard, way before this woke bullshit started, had a $13 billion fucking endowment, and it's way bigger now.
And don't you think that it is influenced by the people who are donating the money, where it's just like, all right, great. I don't want you fucking doing this or this or this or teaching about this and this and this. It's about our money now because we control the fucking school.
Well, you should never, ever introduce profit motive into something that is a need or a human right. You shouldn't introduce profit motive into medicine, for example. I understand the idea of profit motive at the labor level, meaning we should pay doctors a lot of money because we want the most talented people to do that job. But we should not be paying premiums for fucking pharmaceuticals just so some fucking company can get rich. That doesn't make any sense. When fucking these vaccines come out, for example, $12 billion have been made already by Pfizer this year.
Oh, yeah.
Already $12 billion this year. And this is all the fucking vaccine doesn't even work. Apparently. I mean, it doesn't. You could say whatever the fuck it does this or it does whatever. Why the fuck are we still being told to wear masks if the vaccine works?
Yeah.
Either it works or it doesn't work. And clearly it doesn't per their fucking actions. So they made all this fucking money. And then the latest news is, well, you're probably going to have to just get an extra shot every year. Oh, really? Are we?
Yeah.
So the idea that there's profit motive in medicine, the fact you can afford to be, that is immoral, completely immoral. And the fact that we look at our education system as an opportunity to fucking squeeze money out of people who don't even have it yet, instead of an opportunity to fucking raise and educate the right way, means that this country is fucked. Basically.
So let me ask you this, because Bernie Sanders, his big crusade was free colleges. Is that possible in our lifetime?
Nothing's free, so that is a meaningless phrase. Free colleges, but it certainly should be affordable. Bill O'Reilly used to always like to tell this story about how he painted houses in the summer to pay his way through Harvard. Good luck doing that fucking now, dude.
It's not true.
You'd have to paint the fucking Death Star.
Yeah. You have to paint the fucking wall in Mexico. There's no way.
That's just not how things work.
Rake
anymore.
leaves, or it's not the same thing.
But as far as us providing education, why did we decide to bifurcate between primary and secondary education? Everybody expects to go to public high schools or from K-12, K through 12 for free. It doesn't cost you anything, and that's a normal thing in fucking society. But all of a sudden, university, for some reason, is where we draw the line. Like, we can't subsidize that, too. Why, motherfucker? If it's necessary to make our people the best they can be and have the most educated, best workforce, et cetera, why the fuck would that not also be paid for collectively through taxes? I don't get it. Like, why? Some one of you fucking cunt motherfucking far-right assholes that think all taxation is theft, that have your kids in fucking public high schools, by the way, you stupid motherfucker, come explain to me right now what the difference between primary and secondary education is. If secondary education is necessary to make sure we have a fucking workforce that we can be competitive with fucking China, you stupid cunts.
The other part about that is you take a state like Texas, people are bitching about the property taxes going up, which I just got a bill for mine. They're going up as well. That's what's paying for the schools. That is simply what those property taxes are for most of the time. is paying for free public schools, which you're right, aren't free. The dollar's coming from somewhere because we don't have state taxes.
It's not
here in
free, but the
Texas.
way we talk about primary education and secondary education is completely different, and there's no reason for it. There's no difference between what we think because they're not 18 yet, they're children, that it should be paid for. I mean, they still have parents paying for it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you're still paying taxes. What's the difference? If we as to decide how much money it costs or what level of education it takes or whatever it is to get our people to where they need to be. And it's not going to be the same for everybody. We need trade school people. Some people are going to be creators and they don't need any of that secondary education. Some people need advanced degrees to do things like medicine and engineering and physics and shit like that. Figure out what it is. We have this amount, typically speaking, 20% of the country is going to need a secondary education or post-secondary education, like a graduate degree or a PhD or whatever it is. So we have to fucking pay for that. That's it. Why make money off of it? Why does that make sense to make for some corporation to make money off of that instead of the community to come together and be like, hey, we need this, let's pay for it? Why are you giving a corporation more power? Why? Why would you give the government or any big business more power? Look at what they do when they fucking have it. Jesus Christ, man. This shit drives me fucking nuts. And this is what I'm talking about with that binary politics bullshit. This has nothing to do with right versus left. This is a very reasonable fucking situation. I'm sorry, this is a very unreasonable situation that could be reasonably fixed if you would just shut the fuck up about your stupid politics and just do the job in a way that makes sense.
I don't know if it happens in our lifetime.
It'll never happen in any lifetime.
Probably not. Scotty Riley, the honorable dirtbag, just $3.50 for the booze and drug fund for the homies and whatever dirtbag isms you got. Giorgio, can you tell the audience why the buffering is happening, by the way? I know we're getting a lot of messages, but it's YouTube, right? It has nothing to do with us.
Yeah, there's nothing else we can do here on our end, guys.
What is it? Because I know you guys peek behind the curtain, and what are they, throttling down the speed?
I talked to Google or the YouTube help the other day, and I kept using the N-word, and I think that they just got mad.
Gotcha. Yeah.
No, I actually haven't talked about that, but yeah, it's also Google Fiber has just been dog shit across the board. I have it at home, and it's been awful lately as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I know YouTube has had some outages as well, so.
I mean, just a quick explanation of what's going on. I have all these meters here that tell me things, and I have 100 miles per hour to go through our internet, and that's how fast I can go through our internet.
Yeah.
I send about 10 miles per hour worth of data to you guys through YouTube, and it's sending fine, and I'm reading. My meters are fine, but from somehow when it gets to YouTube and YouTube reads it, translates it, and gives it back to you guys in their feed, they're dropping the ball a little bit somewhere. I don't know if they're doing that intentionally.
Wow.
I can't assume that they would do that, and if you are doing that, please stop. I don't know if you're doing that to annoy people to not watch our content, but I'll
exactly
say
the
whatever
reason.
you want me to say. I'll put things wherever you want me to put them, YouTube. Yeah, just stop.
Drew Lamax said to adjust the frame buffer in the studio stream settings. That sounds like gibberish to me.
Try it. Drew sometimes, right?
Yeah, we know.
He's not good with ex-girlfriends, but he's good with other things. Yeah, check it out. Next up, MSM finally figures out legal immigrant children are being trafficked by the U.S. government. Man, how long did that take?
It took 2 days after I did a show. Dakota and I did a show on Wednesday of last week.
On American Party.
American Party, illustrating how the U.S. government is contracting a company called MVM, that's Mike Victor Mike Incorporated, to traffic illegal immigrant children around the United States. And Fox News finally became the first mainstream media service to report on it. Fox has reported that lawmakers in Tennessee are now sounding the alarm after reports that the Biden administration has been flying unaccompanied minors into the state in the middle of the night without their knowledge. Now, you saw, a lot of you, I assume, saw the picture I posted on Instagram a couple of weeks ago while we were flying back from fucking...
Yep.
This dude who is clearly former fucking military of some sort, just based on the stupid skivvy shirt he was wearing and his dumbass fucking haircut and that whole thing. I mean, it was very obvious. took a picture of him, sent it out to some people. Some Border Patrol people reached out to me, and they knew exactly not who that guy was, but who the organization was. So I'm not just fucking making this shit up.
Who's the organization? In case people missed it.
MVM
There you go.
Incorporated. The White House is transporting migrants into airports all over the country, but for this report, into airports in Chattanooga, from where they are bused to cities within the southeast, all over the place, as first reported by a local news outlet, Channel 3 there in Tennessee. So a couple months ago, 3 or 4 months ago, we had James Klug on. Everybody saw those pictures of the manila envelope with the white piece of paper stapled to the other side. It says, "I don't speak English, please help me."
Yep.
Inside, you will find travel documents. You will find either cash or prepaid credit cards given to them by the government or Catholic organizations.
$2,500.
Yeah. And now they've stepped up, apparently, because we're seeing more and more of this, of federal contractors from MVM are escorting these people around so they don't get fucked with, basically.
Yep.
And they're trafficking children. Now, they say they're reuniting them with family members inside the United States. What kind of family member inside the United States would an illegal immigrant child have? And by the way, when we saw these people, it wasn't just a couple of kids. It was a fucking 60-year-old woman, a 40-year-old woman, and 3 children.
Yeah.
Right?
And then a dude. Remember that weird skinny dude? He was wearing a military hat. Like they gave him a U.S. military hat.
Yeah, he was wearing a U.S. Navy hat.
Yeah.
So it was like it was an adult man, 2 adult women, 3 children. So if you're asking me to believe that they're reuniting these at-risk children for whatever the fuck with somebody who's actually supposed to be here, that's not true. All right. The other part of this is just an extension of the catch and release program that happened under Obama. They couldn't process people through the fucking courts fast enough because they only had about 1/4 of the federal immigration judge seats filled. Mm-hmm. And they couldn't process people fast enough. So what they started doing was, I was at Homeland Security at the time, what they started doing was people would come across the border illegally, they would get caught. Fuck off. People would come across the border illegally, they would get caught. And instead of sending them out of the country, which costs money, they would release them, give them a court date to show back up. None of them ever showed the fuck back up. And then if it happened in a fucking sanctuary state like California, they would never ever even get arrested. So they're out in the ether now.
Yep.
And this is just more of that. But now they're trafficking children around.
And the children we saw in the airport that day were young, man. I mean, look, I've got a 2-year-old and a 7-year-old. I'd peg those kids at like maybe 2 to 4 years old. And it was you, me, Jesse, and your lady, and you walked up and took a picture of the guy right in his face. Go to @Dan Hollaway on Instagram because you posted it there, and I believe you posted it on your Facebook as well to identify who this was. So just so I'm correct here, people reached out to you and said who this group was, and now Fox is following up on this?
Fox, what I did and what Fox has done is there's no correlation between the two. I have no idea where they got this information. I don't know where, well, it's not Fox. I don't know where the Tennessee legislature got this information.
Got it.
But it happened, this first report came out 2 days after I did it on American Party. So there's two things about that. The first is, why is a fucking podcast with around 100,000 people the one reporting on this? Like, why aren't journalists doing their fucking jobs? Because I'm not a journalist, I'm a commentator. I read about the news and I give my opinion on it. Sometimes we report shit that's true that nobody knows about, but for the most part, we are political commentators over there at American Party. We discuss things, we don't fucking report things. It shouldn't be like that. 2, maybe this is the new reality. You think you're powerless sitting at home, all of you. We've all felt that feeling. Trying to figure out what the fuck's happening and feeling like it's just you against the world, I guess. I don't know, that you don't have any real power anymore. But the reality is you have a lot more power than you know. You have the power to get informed and to leverage that information against these fucking criminal politicians, these pieces of shit, these cunts who need your vote. And you have the power to make change and protect these children and protect our country. You really need to start fucking taking it seriously.
Yeah, and the wildest shit to me is about this is if we didn't have James on the show to kind of break this down and show us these pictures, we wouldn't have even known to look for this in the airport. Most people just walk by people like this or families like this or kids like this and have no idea what the fuck is going on, but then they go to their next destination. Because he was on the show and we saw the exact same pamphlets and the manila envelopes and all that other shit, We were able to see it, spot it, and you walked right up to that guy and took a picture 2 feet from his face.
Yeah, I don't give two fucks about those people.
No. And if more people aren't getting the word out, then it just kind of goes unnoticed. And it's eerie how unnoticed it goes. But I remember tapping you on the escalator on the way up to that tram, and I was like, hey, dude, isn't that the same fucking thing?
Yeah.
It's wild. Wild.
Yeah, so if you're traveling in airports at any time, keep your fucking phone out. Keep your camera ready to go. And approach these people. Take pictures of the immigrants, take pictures of the person escorting them, and ask the person escorting them who they are and who they work for.
Yep. And they won't say anything, by the way, and they're not going to do anything to you or your phone or anything else.
No, they're federal contractors. If they're not going to try to fuck with you, because if they do, that's going to. I'm sure they've been told to try to stay as low key as possible. I would guess, but we cannot allow them to stay as low key as possible.
And the wild thing is, when you're in an airport, you're still required to wear a mask. If that guy was not, he would not have been able to wear a mask. And I guarantee you, if you would have snapped that photo and got his full face in there, 90 people would have hit you up and said, here's that guy's fucking middle name and birth date.
Yeah, probably.
Strange. Strange. Look, kids, our first sponsor is ghostbed.com/drinking bros. We broke the story with Adam Carolla, but I feel like we can tell you now because we shot that earlier and it's coming out. We signed on with Ghostbed for 2 more years. Love ghostbed.com/drinking bros. They've been instrumental in helping us out, keeping all the lights on and everything else. It's also a product we believe in. Because let's face it, we wouldn't sell you a mattress at that kind of price if we didn't think it was great. We have them in every single room in our house, and we're amped to announce that we're with them for the next couple years. Go to ghostbed.com/drinking bros today. Use the promo code Drinkin' Bros at checkout too for 30% off, and you might get some free pillows with a mattress right now. Not saying you will, not saying you won't, but if you pop in that promo code at the end, you definitely might.
No, you definitely will.
Will you?
Yeah.
Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah, he just said it on the show earlier.
I want to make sure, dude, that one's not going out till next week. I don't know. I don't know if it's today. We're live now to the 400 or 500. It's the same number we always get on YouTube. So also, they get a 36-month pay-as-you-go program, no interest there. So go to ghostbed.com/drinking bros today. Bundle all those deals together and then use them for the interest program. It's great. It's a running calculator. It'll tell you how much it is per your order. Next up,
This is an add-on to the previous story.
Yeah.
So we know that the government has extended its catch and release program to extend to children, and that they're being shipped with their fucking families illegally all over the fucking place. Now we find out, because of this report from Axios, that nobody's even keeping track of where all these goddamn kids are going. The Biden administration has released thousands of migrant children to quote-unquote caretakers all over the country. So the party line was that they're sending them to fucking reunite with family members. And if you look at MVM, Mike Victor Mike Incorporated, you look at their job postings online, or you watch episode 29 of American Party where I lay this all out, you'll see that the job posting says that they're reuniting these kids with their fucking families. It's not true. The Biden administration has released thousands of these kids. They're being taken to caretakers, and nobody is keeping track of them. Since January, 22,000 children have been released to sponsors, and earlier this month, 775 released in a single fucking day. According to HHS, not the check-in calls are being performed. During the Trump administration, there was an uproar when an official told Congress that the agency wasn't able to locate around 1,500 children released to sponsors. So this isn't new. It's been going on before, but now it's going on at a level that is infinitely larger. I mean, in one day, the Biden administration has released half of what Trump did the entire time. Currently, the Biden administration has refused to disclose any information about where these children are being released and who is caring for them, right? The lack of tracking, the poor vetting process for sponsors put these children at risk, being placed in the custody of human traffickers, just like what happened in 2014. If you remember that story, in 2014, there were fucking kids, protecting unaccompanied alien children from trafficking and other abuses, the role of the Office of Refugee and Settlement, right? It was a fucking investigation done by the Senate back in the day. I highly recommend you go check it out.
Yeah, and it's going to keep getting worse, because my guess is the reason why they're doing this is they don't want those photos of the kids in cages that are more than it was in the Trump administration, and hey, let's get them out of here as quickly as possible.
Instead of doing that, they're fucking disrupting our national sovereignty and putting children at risk. Now, I don't know what you folks in the audience know about the foster care system and boys and girls homes throughout the country here in America before all this shit, but it's not exactly great. Usually it's some shitbag, right, that is just looking for money, so they take on 5 or 10 kids that they can't control, right? The kids are at risk in pretty much every way you can imagine, and they get abused at a higher rate than any other group of kids that exists. And now not only are we disrupting our national sovereignty by not processing these people properly or sending them back where the fuck they came from with their actual parents, we're just throwing them into this fucking system that is rife with abuse. None of this is acceptable.
No, and it's only going to keep getting worse. I don't see this problem going away anytime soon, because the problem is Democrats don't want to say, hey, we've got a problem at the border, because that's what they ran on for the last 4 years against Trump. Oh, no, you can come into the country, everything's going to be cool. No, we don't have any fucking room. We don't have enough employees. We don't have enough. You don't want fucking border patrol. You don't want police, any of that shit. Good luck. And now here we are, and shit, we're only, 3-4 months into this administration? Shit's going to get really bad. I mean, it's bad now to where we were seeing kids open in the airport, like just openly out in the airport, where you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, they're not even
daytime.
They're not even trying to hide the shit, which means they think that you're not going to do anything about it. And maybe they're right. Maybe you won't. Maybe nobody will do anything about this. But if it wasn't enough to make you mad that our national sovereignty was being disrupted and undercut, it should certainly be enough to make you mad that children are being abused and trafficked. And if it doesn't, then you're a fucking piece of shit, frankly.
Yeah. God damn, man. Again, it's only going to get worse. I mean, we were, 2 o'clock in the afternoon? Yeah, in Dallas. It's crazy, man. Look, if you're trying to beat the buffering here, and we know it's an issue on YouTube, maybe expressvpn.com/drinkingbros will help get you through. You might get an extra 3 months free. I'm kidding. It's no might. You will get an extra 3 months. 3 months for free. There it is, Ross. I went full Biden on that one. Full Biden on that one. expressvpn.com/drinkingbros is when you use the bathroom, you always close the door behind you. And you don't want people peeking into your bathroom. Your bathroom's your computer because you're a disgusting piece of shit. Tons of shit in that fucking toilet of what you call the internet, especially on Giorgio's. My God, the porn that he looks at is undescribable.
Indescribable.
Is it? Either way, don't care today. I'm on one today. Don't care today. I'm going to pronounce everything wrong. Did you know that your internet service provider like Comcast or Verizon knows every single website you visit? Yes, I did know that. And that's why I got expressvpn.com/drinkingbros.
Yeah,
a long time ago.
A lot of people have used Chrome Incognito for years, and now Google is being sued because Chrome Incognito was not actually blocking anything. It was tracking every single fucking thing you did.
Yeah.
The entire time.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
There it is.
Bob's
See you, Bob.
going to delete his browser history, but
Bye, Bob.
even that won't work.
If by delete your browser history you mean burn down my home.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should burn down your home and move to another country, preferably Panama, which has no extradition treaty.
There it is.
Otherwise, you're fucked.
Proud of you, Bob. ExpressVPN is the world's #1 rated VPN by CNET, Wired, The Verge, countless others. So if you're like me and you believe your online activity is your business, secure yourself by visiting expressvpn.com/drinkingbros today. Use our exclusive link, expressvpn.com/drinkingbros, and you can get an extra 3 months free. That's expressvpn.com/drinkingbros. Right now, it's only like $7 a month. So, shit. 3 months free, good to go. Sign up for a year. I've had it for, I don't know how many years at this goddamn point. Next up, D'Anthony. AOC thinks it is racist to discriminate against murderers, gang members, and pedophiles. Man, I knew it. I knew it.
It's the
I knew it.
The problem with fundamentalism is that they have no sense of irony. Like nothing's funny to them, right? And if nothing's funny, then you can't point out the absurdity of things. Like, well, this rule is intended for this, but it has these consequences, and you care so much about the rule that you don't care about the consequences. AOC, along with 34 colleagues, recently demanded that ICE, that's Homeland Security, fucking no longer expel immigrants who have been convicted of an aggravated felony. In a letter sent to the Department of Homeland Security, AOC and friends claimed that aggravated felonies are neither aggravated nor felonies, which is calls into question why they're called that in the first place.
Weird.
She argued that the term is a relic of the racist war on drugs and should no longer be taken into account without prioritizing the removal of certain immigrants. So the phrase aggravated felony includes the following: murder, rape, or sexual abuse, particularly of a minor, drug trafficking, human trafficking, and child pornography.
Yeah.
Those are examples of aggravated felonies. This stupid cunt argues that giving ICE discretion to determine whether an illegal immigrant has been involved in gang activity, quote, doubles down on an arbitrary and discriminatory framework used by law enforcement. So we're not talking about U.S. citizens, by the way. We're talking about illegal immigrants. And Homeland Security is trying to do whatever it can to get at least some of these assholes out of here.
Yeah.
At least the ones that are violent and rape people and fucking traffic drugs and produce child pornography. But even that's too much. So I support allowing felons and gang members into the country so long as they are forced to live in AOC's neighborhood.
I agree.
Put them all in her fucking district, and I'll tell you what they won't find, and that's $120,000 a year Amazon jobs, because that stupid bitch fucked it all up. Also,
they won't find any parking spots. She illegally parked her Tesla, the SUV one, the nice one.
That Model X?
Yeah, in front of
the
the Whole
suicide
Foods,
doors?
and just, decided to live her best life yesterday, and that was a fun thing. It's all hypocrites. She was down at the fucking border. She could have gone down for this shit. She won't. They're not going to do anything. I don't know what good this does. Wait, it's none. It's actually none. Why do this and why attach your name to this is what I can't understand, Dan.
Again, no sense of irony. You believe in something so much that you have to defend indefensible positions, right? People believed in Trump so much, and regardless of what good he may or may not have done, they believed in Trump and Trumpism so much that they were willing to excuse the fact that he acted like a cunt most of the time. People believe in their democratic politics so much that they're willing to elect a guy that has vascular dementia and a woman who enforced the crime bill at a level that no other fucking politician or criminal justice employee applied it. Not at scale and not with that severity, right? They didn't care. They cared so much about the democratic politics that the ideas behind it even vanished.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's not about protecting people. It has nothing to do with that. It's about fucking the woke Olympics. Who can be more woke? And to be honest, it's just it's typical escalation. They're one-uppers. They're people that are in a conversation like you're telling your story and like, oh, that reminds me of this thing that happened to me that's like, 2% better than what you just said. Like, all right, great, man. Let's just fucking kill ourselves now so I don't ever have to have this fucking conversation again. That's the ideology behind that. It is deeply rooted in both ignorance and insecurity. These people feel like their identity now is some kind of fucking savior hero type when they've done nothing to protect people. In fact, everything they do puts people at risk.
Yeah, and she's going to be in there for a long time. She's going to be in there for a long time in that office. I don't see them getting rid of her anytime soon. What was the last election? I mean, she fucking housed somebody.
Yeah, I mean, well, first off, she could only lose in a primary.
Yep.
Like, she's not going to lose to a Republican in that district.
Nope.
So they ran out some, like, Jamaican immigrant who was a Republican against her, who, like, she murdered in the general.
Yeah.
And then I don't know why they would ever primary her.
Yeah,
Well, she won 75% of the primary votes.
Yeah, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
she's going to be there for years and years and years, man. Unless she decides to run for office, but I think you can keep your original office if you lose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually. Also, people just like having a famous rep.
Yeah. And saying, oh, this is my district.
Yeah, like regardless of the party, like if a rep, like people just like a rep that's on TV a lot usually.
Yeah.
I think that it would be a good idea for us to do away with Congress and the Senate entirely.
So do I, but it's not going to happen.
Well, we'll see.
You actually think it will?
I said we'll see.
Not a prayer. Drinkinbros.com, though, is where all your prayers can get answered. We got new merch, kids. New merch. Are the tents up?
No, not yet, but they're working all that.
Tents.
They're working on all that now. They're sending some samples and
Look,
stuff.
we got the Defund Politicians shirts up in there. We got the Drinkin' Bros merch up in there. They're all back, dude. Show the new Kentucky Derby one. There we go. Is that on the full screen? Yeah, look at that. The old failed drug test for Medina Spirits. Won a lot of money off that horse.
Yeah, you wanna if you're in New York and you're planning on going to the horse races or going to the Belmont, you definitely want to have this shirt for it.
Go to drinkinbros.com today.
We also have
hoodies.
some fun ones like this one.
Yeah.
Put that shirt up there. This is to let people know that you don't give two fucks about what they think about a certain issue. And then there's another one right next to that that is of the same order. Basically, the three of the dumbest people in U.S. politics. And I saw that picture of them at that address. And I think it was Pelosi was like, this is the first time two women have sat behind the president during a presidential address. Like, oh, really cool, man. Thanks for letting us know. It's two fucking dumb cunts. And now you can memorialize it with that fucking shirt right there.
I saw a picture, by the way, Bob, and you can pull this up, that Kamala Harris was Montel Williams' old side piece. And they've got a photo of them together on a red carpet at an event. And I was like, what? So was that the woman that Kamala Harris is the one that broke up the marriage for Montel Williams?
Montel Williams, a former Marine, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't care about that.
There it is. There's a picture right there. Look at that. That's her on the right. Holy shit. Look, Montel Williams' party's good for him. You know what I'm saying? Not mad at Montel.
Taking a picture with somebody doesn't mean anything. I've taken a picture with a lot of bearded drinking bros.
No.
Doesn't mean I fucked
So there's more. There's other pictures of them like throughout. Like they dated for a little bit, for what I heard after that. Because I saw another solo one of them, of the two, just the two of them together. That was a fun, flirty one.
I'm only seeing from this event, but I don't know. You never know. They're both in California, right?
Hey, anything goes, brother.
It's just funny to think that the vice president of the United States, like this is well before she was famous or anything.
Yeah.
Even famous senator, even a fucking DA, right? So,
Party
it's just
with
funny to
Montel.
think that the vice president of the United States within this century was like, you guys, I'm going to a party with fucking Montel Williams tonight.
Oh yeah, dude.
Because he was huge.
He
back
was
then.
the dude, man.
Yeah.
He had all the shit.
It's funny to think that she had to have fangirled over Montel Williams.
Sure, I would. You know, back then. Hey, let's party. Let's party. Next up, the Colonial Pipeline. Well, they paid the ransom, Dan. Definitely not surprised by this. Joseph Blounce, or Bluntz, if you will, depending upon how you're pronouncing it. A lot of people don't like to use the term blunt anymore. The CEO of Colonial Pipeline recently admitted his company paid the ransom demanded by the hackers who crippled the pipeline. In an interview with the Wall Street Journal, Blunt said, "I know that's a highly controversial decision, but it was the right thing to do for the country." Was it? He also said that he felt like he had no choice but to pay, given the stakes involved in shutting down such a critical part of the energy infrastructure.
Why is it controversial?
You don't pay terrorists. You don't bargain with terrorists.
Get the fuck out of here. We don't negotiate with terrorists. There's no bigger lie in all of American politics, all of American security, that we don't negotiate with terrorists. Bitch, we fucking create terrorists on a regular basis. Where the fuck do you think Al-Qaeda and ISIS came from? Al-Qaeda came from the Mujahideen that we trained in the fucking 1980s and early 90s to fight the fucking Russians. And ISIS came from the sons of Iraq who we trained in Baghdad to fight Jaish al-fucking Mahdi. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. We negotiate with terrorists all the time. Both sides do it. Republicans and Democrats both do it. You're full of shit when you say that. Everybody is. So we negotiate with terrorists all the time. What are they supposed to do? Just like not have gas?
Let me ask you this: you think this came from the higher ups? Because I don't think. I think this is bigger than Colonial.
I think maybe it did, but who cares? I would have done the same thing this guy did. Why the fuck would you not do it? If I'm running critical infrastructure shit and it gets disrupted and I can pay some money to stop that disruption, I'll do it 10 times out of 10 because it's other people's lives at stake, not just my fucking money.
Let me ask you this, because you worked in Homeland Security. What's the process after this? So you pay the ransom, and then do you send your best IT team to track down whoever did this?
Well, they made the payment in Bitcoin, so good fucking luck.
Did they really?
Yeah. Read the notes.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's amazing, actually. Everybody's fucking using Bitcoin, which will lead us to our next story.
Did they pay him on the dip?
Yeah, they paid him on the dip. That's a great question, Bob. Did they pay him on the dip?
Yeah, you want to do that math and find out how much it's worth? If they paid him 4.5 million, I believe it was 4.4 million, and it dropped, 40%?
Yeah. It was paid before the dip.
So that's 1.7 million they lost?
Yeah, but then it came right back up to 40. So, there's a 10-15% increase right
Yeah.
there.
I mean, if they hold it for the long game, I'm sure they'll be fine. Tracking cryptocurrency through, unless you fucking find somebody with the drive and you've got access to the blockchain at the same time, good fucking luck with that shit.
Yeah. Look, you know more about that world than I do. We're trying to get a crypto guy on the show.
What do you want? What do you want to know right now? We want to know the crypto news.
No, I don't care about any of this shit.
So Bunny Swap is down because of they had a hacker leak, and so basically someone borrowed $1.6 million in Binance coin to then deflate the increase of Bunny. So if you hold Bunny or Pancake Swap, both of those are tanked. There's a mystery
swap. I can't. Nope. Can't go down any of these roads. What I do know is this: there was an article this morning that said they tracked a guy and they said, "Look, we'll sit here. How long would it take you to create your own crypto coin? 10 minutes is what it took."
Yeah, I mean, with the copy and paste and making an ERC20 token, you can literally do it in 10 minutes. It'll have no utility other than being there, but
yeah,
you got it.
We got to do it for this show. I want a Brobucks, dude. I want the fucking Brobucks.
Look. The button is ready to be pressed.
All right.
I don't care about any of this. So
Yeah.
the FBI encourages companies not to pay in ransomware situations, but the FBI has paid shit. They're full of shit. These people are full of shit.
All of them.
The
all
pipeline
fucking
attack has been traced to an Eastern European gang called DarkSide, which specializes in creating software used against a colonial pipeline, like that used against a colonial pipeline. That doesn't necessarily mean that's true. The FBI is incompetent, and the federal government also incompetent. The times that they've came through with these big intelligence fucking victories, what were they? Finding W&D in Iraq? Get the fuck out of here. Nobody trusts you cunts. Jesus fucking Christ, man. This is unbelievable that people fucking think that this shit's all on the level. There's money changing hands behind the scenes all the fucking time. That's how the world works.
I agree.
And that's one of the benefits of cryptocurrency is that there's reference to it on the ledger and on the blockchain. So we have written information of all the transaction that goes through. You don't know who it is.
You would have to catch them with that drive, have the password for that drive, open that drive.
No, on the blockchain,
match
on the ledger, there's a reference of every transaction that goes through.
That's correct. But to associate it with a specific person or group, you'd have to find them with the drive in their hand, and then match the two fucking hash codes up, and nobody's doing that. It's just not going to, because they'll transfer that money 16, 17 more times before it even gets there. Or they'll switch it to a different fucking cryptocurrency that has a different blockchain.
Ethereum,
good fucking luck, man.
Pancake flip.
Good luck.
Squirrelback.
EOS.
Yummy. Whatever fucking dumb shit you could possibly think of.
Goat serum.
And that brings up the next story. Bitcoin value dropped 30% on Wednesday.
Yeah, it did.
Reaching its lowest value since January. And really, it's just Elon Musk at this point manipulating the stock market. That's what he's doing. He's committing federal crimes. They just don't have laws for it yet. And good for him, I guess. Like he's bankrupting people, but he's also making a lot of people rich. So whatever. Going on Saturday Night Live and trashing Dogecoin after he sold a position in it. That's a cunt move, to be honest. He's a cunt. I don't like Elon Musk.
I want to talk more about the bounce back. I think the bounce back is much more important than the crash.
Look, I think
to see the recovery of $10,000
sure.
the day after,
right.
I think is super important to how stable the coin is.
Yes.
So I personally thought you would see it trade sideways for at least a month or two. I'd say you'd see the new floor, you'd see like a 5% bounce back, and then you see it just trade sideways. And people would either bleed it off, or the people who really had the balls would hold on to it a little bit more. And it's a snowball effect. But to see this snowball effect correct like it did and bring us back up to a decently stable place, like trading around just using the straight numbers, trading around 45,000 was a pretty stable spot for Bitcoin for a few months.
Right.
Before we saw these 60 heights and anything, we were like, all right, this is the new floor for it. Everyone started buying and alternating around that to the point in which companies like Tesla were accepting it as payment. Like the coin was so stable at some point that people were accepting it for things. Like you could buy stuff with it. It was actually being used as a currency.
It's still stable.
Still
And
stable.
The reason that Musk gives for not accepting it at Tesla anymore, which is what caused the $300 billion in cryptocurrency to be wiped the fuck out, is because of environmental reasons. Now, we talked about this while those assholes were on the show last week, but it currently requires more energy to mine the crypto than the crypto is worth.
Yeah, and
okay. I mean,
The energy-
break that down. I understand, like
the energy
Bitcoin is a very
cost is
inefficient coin. Yes, and
Yes.
and judging by in only certain states are you allowed, or in certain states is it profitable because the cost of energy to produce the coin costs more. That's why you see farms set up in like Greenland and places that are of cool temperatures, because your export of all this computer processing is heat.
Yeah.
That's the byproduct of basically doing the math that I always talk about, and we're all betting on which math is better, is because it's solving the equations to make sure something is validated, like any other internet key. So basically, it's giving you assurance, and these computers are backing it up by solving these equations.
well, with Musk, allegedly, this was his biggest gripe with Bitcoin, was that it was burning too much energy.
So
and-
people are these companies in China
fuck
build
outta here.
mining rigs specifically made for mining, specifically made to be tied together. They're loud, they're noisy. I looked into buying them so I could hide them in the attic and mine Bitcoin here. This is the only reason why I know about this. And they're filling places up for them, and they're using energy basically made off of coal production. And I think that tweet should have driven people to go research what the fuck he was talking about instead of throwing all the money away or crashing the market. Was like, hey, these people are doing something immoral. They're immorally mining Bitcoin through coal, basically. They're burning coal on fire to create Bitcoin.
right.
And he, as someone who believes in energy efficiency and, his whole electric car initiative, the statement made sense to me.
All of this would make sense if he didn't own a $1.5 billion position in Bitcoin, and if he wasn't intending on buying this dip.
Of course. And then he
absolutely-
tweeted yesterday, Tesla has diamond hands.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
he didn't have a choice. I don't
No,
think.
he's
I'm
got
with Dan
plenty.
on
He's
this
got
one,
plenty
yeah.
of choice.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks that these fucking cult figures like Trump and Elon Musk and all these fucking turds are your friends. Like, don't stop believing in people, man, and start thinking about ideas. Stop believing in people. This guy is manipulating you, so you'll go out and fucking do a bunch of shit en masse where he can fucking pull off $1 billion here and $1 billion there. It's fucking bullshit. He's full of shit. Fuck these people.
So the reason why I said
I'm not saying don't get involved, by the way. Just be smart enough to follow the trends and make your money too. But don't believe that Elon Musk gives two fucks what happens to you.
No, and the reason why I say he didn't have a choice is the feds are cracking down on this, specifically Elon Musk, and so they're looking at enforcing
Yeah,
rules.
because he's been manipulating the market
Correct.
for fucking years now.
So a few articles that were just released.
if he was
one
doing what he's doing now with the stock market, if he did what he's doing with crypto with the stock market, he would be in federal prison already.
Right, but
Yeah.
we all just saw what happened with the stock market. We know the rules of the stock market are there to protect the rich and the banks anyway. So
Yeah.
come on. But the U.S. Federal Reserve plans to publish discussion papers on potential insurance of CBDC. So basically assuring digital currency in a way. And then the IRS has plans to make you have record of every transaction over $10,000. In any transfer of cryptocurrency over $10,000.
Yeesh. When is that going to be enforced?
I mean, it's talks of discussion.
Who
Who knows when these things could happen or would happen?
Cryptocurrency isn't even recognized on paper anywhere in the federal government yet.
No.
There's no infrastructure for
Nope.
any of this stuff. And this is the same goddamn thing that happened with Robinhood, right? You fucking say some shit, tank the stock, buy it all up, and then let it go back on its normal fucking progression. I mean, shit. And we don't know what's happened, right? Because Elon Musk as an entity is not a publicly traded company, right? He can do whatever he wants with his vast amount of wealth. So if he went on Wednesday afternoon or Thursday morning, right, or during off-hour trading and bought up another fucking $100 million worth of fucking Bitcoin, then he just made another $1 billion overnight.
Yeah.
because it
With
went
that-
back
yeah,
10%,
yeah,
right?
15
so he made
at a
$1 billion
15% correction, yes.
Yeah. Overnight, he could do that just by fucking sending out a tweet. And you think this guy's on your fucking side? Get fucking real.
Yeah, he's definitely not on this one. And if you don't know the power in your tweets, if you're Elon Musk at this point, like
The
it's
most recent
crazy.
tweet was pretty cool, though. It was a neon sign that said "Crypto Viking" on it.
Yeah.
So I can get behind the digital art.
Yeah, he's trying to fuck. This is the same thing with the Trump personality cult.
They're just like us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
look at how fucking normal. I'm on your side, guys. I'm a populist. No, you're a cunt. Fuck you. Can't hear that. Turn the mic on, asshole.
He said he respects the troll. Trolls be trolling.
Yeah, I mean, if you're who is it? I can't remember the name of the guy, but he said it's immoral to let a sucker keep his money, basically. So
A fool in his bankroll or quickly parted.
Yeah.
Last but not least here, COVID relief package that came out included a demand for UFO disclosure for some fucking reason.
Usually, I'm not a huge fan of riders on bills because it's usually just pork. It's bullshit, and people hide weird ass shit inside of omnibus bills to get it passed because they know it wouldn't get passed on its own. This one I'm kind of fine with, to be honest.
It's so weird that I like it. At least it's not going to like condoms in Afghanistan or whatever the fuck all this
That
other
was
shit
women's
is.
gender studies.
Oh, was it really?
$15 million for women's gender studies in Afghanistan.
I want to know about the UFOs and when Dan and I will be clapping cheeks. So, I'm amped about this, but the $2.3 trillion relief bill that was signed last year by Donald Trump has this unusual provision in it demanding the government report everything currently known about UFOs. I couldn't tell if this was a troll or not, or why you would do something like this, but I love it. As stipulated in the bill, the report must include a detailed analysis of unidentified aerial phenomena gathered by the Office of Naval Intelligence, the FBI, and the UAP Task Force. According to former intelligence director John Ratcliffe, he says, frankly, there are a lot more sightings that have been made public. There are instances where we don't have good explanations for some things that we've seen. Start clapping, dude. Start clapping some cheeks. There it is. Yes!
Intelligence officials have until June next month to deliver the report on the UAPs, as they're now called.
Yeah.
Unidentified aerial phenomenon. They're not going to tell you anything.
You don't think so?
No, this is the same bullshit from before. Every time, it seems like it's this is the new fucking distraction. Anytime we get too close to finding out that half of DC, half of Hollywood, and half of fucking Wall Street were fucking children on Epstein's dime, aliens, man, fucking Russia's trying to attack our fucking election. No, this is all a distraction. Nothing. You won't see anything out of this.
Who do we have? Michio Kaku on the show, who said he thinks they're just kind of fast-moving drones, military-wise.
Yeah, that's what most scientists think.
Yes. Why hasn't that been addressed, I guess, by the Pentagon? You would know, right?
What I would know?
No, the Pentagon. Like if you were in the Pentagon, you were working behind the scenes, wouldn't you know what these fucking things are? But I guess that would freak people out just the same.
Well, I don't think it would.
No?
As much weird shit as we see on a day-to-day basis, if an alien just fucking walked down and be like, hey, I'm an alien, I don't think anybody would care. I mean, it would be interesting. Religious people might be upset.
Yeah.
But I don't think people would really care.
I would.
I'd want to fuck it.
Yeah, same. I'm all in.
Eiffel Tower and Alien with Ross Patterson.
Great.
Great episode 1000.
I honestly don't think it would be that big of a deal after all this. And maybe that's part of it. I have this theory that the government has been in sync with Hollywood for years, making these movies slowly but surely, exposing us to forms that aliens might look like. So when they do show up, we won't be surprised. That's what I think is happening.
Wow. I've never heard that.
Slowly getting used to it.
Yeah. So if, for example, if an alien showed up that looked like E.T., everybody like, oh fuck, it's
an alien.
It's ET, yeah.
That's an alien. Obviously, that's an alien.
It's super interesting to think about.
So think about it this way: if I just pulled my gun out and shot it in the air right now, and you weren't paying attention, you would be very alarmed by that noise. But if I told you, hey, I'm going to fire my gun off, it would hurt your ears probably, but you wouldn't fucking jump under your desk. Just that little bit of preparation prevents panic. Knowing what's coming prevents panic. So if you slowly but surely introduce these things to people, then they won't panic when it happens. That's what I think's happening.
All right.
If it's an H.R. Geiger alien, then there's no amount of preparation for me to not be.
What, with the little mouth too?
Yeah, both the little and big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want a multi-mouthed alien that's got
no.
razor sharp teeth.
And
Obviously.
Now, the movie Alien.
Typically,
That's what he's talking
yeah.
about.
And typically, the wetter it is, the worse it is. Like, you want a good dry alien.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the wetter the alien is, typically the more evil it is.
Like
I think.
Predator.
Very,
you mean?
very
Yeah.
true.
No, if it's a wet alien, run.
Yeah, very true.
What about the Terminator Alien? Was it 2 or 3 that was like all liquid and can morph around things?
T2.
Yeah, I feel like that's a blowjob
That's
that no other
Robert,
alien could get you. Give you,
Robert,
you know what I'm
whatever.
He's been on the show. He's been on the show. Yeah, he's been a guest on the show. Big fans.
Robert. He owns a fucking Harley Davidson dealership in L.A. now. That's all he does is hang out there.
He's still doing movies.
Good life.
He's still doing movies. He's cool. Now's the point in the show where we get to the Drinkin' Bro of the Week. Again, send all your submissions to drinkinbros.com. They come in live on the show, and then we share them live with you, so we don't screen these things. Alexis from Wisconsin, who's been a member of Drinkin' Bros for 2 years, is nominating Zach Talatsko. Man, I hope I get that right.
Yeah, if you're gonna send us some-
T-A-L-A-T-Z-K-O.
If you're going to send us somebody's name and it's you, there's any chance that he's not going to be able to pronounce it, which is there's always no chance he's going to be able to pronounce it.
Yep.
Spell it out phonetically or something.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of hearing this.
Put some tildes on it. But it's T-A-L-A-T-Z-K-O. Never seen that name before. Reason for the nomination, Zach is my other half. I'd say my better half, but let's be real. It's me who's his better half. He's been a Drinkin' Bro for many, many years and has been exposed, whoa, I'm going to go ahead and correct your grammar there, little lady, has exposed me to this wonderful world of crazy. Thank you, broettes. Just giving a shout out to the broettes as well. He's an ex-Army medic and now a firefighter. I want to nominate him for a few reasons. He's doing so much more for our little family by being our rock and helping us get through all the rough times lately. He's been supporting us while I finish my own degree without a single complaint. He's an amazing dad to our 2 beautiful kids and a wonderful husband, and he's got mega bonus points for the best sex of my life. There it is. I hope he hears this driving to work, wondering if it's really about him.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It's pretty specific. It's definitely about him.
I guess if he knows how to spell his own name, he'll figure it out.
Yeah. Zach Talatsko. Hit me up, Zach, on Instagram. Let me know if I was close to that. And if I was, you're welcome. You're welcome. D'Anthony, I can't sign off with the Drinkin' Bros theme song. Hans Zimmer filed a restraint against
That's
mine.
fine. He'll be dead soon.
You think so?
Probably.
How old is Zimmer? What do you got Zimmer pegged at?
He's
in his 60s.
63.
He's got a ways.
And don't make a Nazi joke. His mom survived the Holocaust.
Did she really?
Yeah.
All right.
Survive. Which side was she on?
There it is. See?
I'm just asking.
You
I don't
can
know.
still make a joke without saying which side.
I'm not. I didn't make a joke.
She was a camper, not a counselor.
Love to
Good way
end
to
on
say
a
that.
downer.
Good way to say that.
Yeah, I love to end on a downer. 2 of you guys really came through with Holocaust jokes that are very highbrow. It's hard to do. It's hard to do. Thanks for being with us. Go to iTunes, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a quick review. That is literally the only thing that keeps us on top of the charts. I don't know why. They just want our data, which is fine. But just please go to iTunes and do that now. For D'Anthony Hollaway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is Drinkin' Bros Fake News. Good night, everyone.